hate that movie is like critically not loved, but like loved by all of
Oh,
us.
it's one of my favorite Christmas movies.
It's great.
It's phenomenal.
The amount of times I've been like looking through shirts and I'm like, but what will I wear?
Yeah.
I'm not going.
I'm not going.
There was a story in that same article about how the writers who wrote most of the dialogue or like wrote a bunch of stuff didn't get writing or Writers Guild credits. They didn't get credits with their union for it because of some other stuff because essentially what their changes fell under were changes. They were not original script writers or something like that. But somebody was like, but yeah, Jim Carrey's dentist is on the thanks credits.
Credited.
And some guy and one of the other writers goes, I will say he's a great fucking dentist. I'm like, that's good. I'm like, there's a reason you guys made this movie.
Dude, I love
hate, double hate. Loathe entirely.
I like when he's like little Grinch. He's like, I hate Christmas, and throws the tree. It's like my favorite scene of the whole movie.
My favorite's when he rips the tablecloth off perfectly.
Oh yeah.
And then goes back to screw it up. That's generic.
Every
Classic.
year for Christmas, we would take that screenshot of the little Grinch with the tree, and we would all post on our Instagrams. We did this for a long time before he got really fucking angry and reported all the photos. But we would tag Wheeler and be like, hey, look, it's Wheeler on Christmas morning when he gets his shit rocked by his dad instead of getting presents.
Oh my God.
And so,
that's definitely a choice.
He got pretty sick of it after the third year. He goes, when there's 15 people commenting on my dad beats me on Christmas and posting a picture of baby Grinch, it gets kind of old, you know? I'm like, you bully everybody. He's like, not on Christmas.
You're like,
not on Christmas. It's a sacred holiday.
That's like the line. It's like, what are you talking about, bro? You deserve this.
We're being soft.
I didn't say that.
Get bullied any day.
I just went, oh, my bad, bro.
And then you did it the next year, didn't you?
And then did it, yeah.
Every year until he started reporting us. And I was like,
odds are he'll forget by next
You should
Christmas
do it again
that he
this
had
year, just because.
I don't follow him. I had him unfollow me, and it's tumultuous. I don't want to.
Just say you blocked him.
Do it.
I didn't block him.
Anyway.
I just made him
You don't have
unfollow
to follow him to tag him.
Yeah, just tag him anyway.
I'll do it. Just wait till Christmas morning. Go to my feed. You're gonna laugh your ass off.
Okay.
You know what you won't laugh your ass off to? Probably this episode, because it's a pretty divisive one. Welcome back to the WASD and Beyond podcast, everybody. We are your hosts, Nick, Brody, and Evan. All three of us are in a virtual room together in the internet, and we're having a great time.
Yeah.
Yes, good.
We're in the internet.
We are in the internet. We can't be together at all because the roads suck. Brody lives far, and no one wants to be around Nick anyways. It's all right. It's the greatest travesty. I'm not doing that.
It's happening.
Cut that. Anyways, welcome back to the show, everybody. Before we get into it, check out these sponsors, Final Boss and SCREAMBOX and LONGY and all the cool shit right down below. Go check all that out. You should also go check out Roll for Deception, and it came from SCREAMBOX. Those links are down below. If you want to talk to us about today's topic, hit us up, WASDBEYOND@gmail.com. Again, that's WASDBeyond@gmail.com. Also, join the Discord. It's free. You can come yell at us about our opinions on this very topic, and you could make fun of us on Twitter, so go follow us there. And then you can put in our comment section how much you hate us on YouTube. Go like and subscribe there, and then post a bunch of hate. That's good. We want it. Bring it. Make people talk about us.
You like rage maxing right now? Are you like trying to piss people off so much that you get views for it, or like listen? Is that the goal here?
Seems that way.
He's gonna
myself thumbnail for sure.
That's the vague idea I'm getting out of this.
The thumbnails will be me going, but is it bad?
Oh, I have that exact picture.
I was gonna say that's definitely somewhere.
Man of a few typical faces. Anyways, the Game Awards have come and gone.
Yes.
Evan, myself, and John have to re-record an episode because the episode that we recorded sounded like Diary of a Madman, and it will be released in like a year from now as a haha. I saved that audio
over my dead body, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll Venmo you $10.
Okay, that's not.
Release the Evan cut.
No.
Yeah, dude, that's lore now. We have an Evan cut.
It's just release the 6 minutes of me laughing because I don't know what I'm laughing at.
There was a point.
I still
so bad.
nothing will ever beat the year where you were wearing the full suit.
That was good. That was
a good
time.
year. That was
That
a good year.
good year.
I
That was
think
a
I
good
still
year
ha-
overall.
I think I still have that clip of the drunk Evan cam.
Oh yeah, that was good. That was a good one.
This one
I
was
like that.
This wasn't like funny. The episode that we did, that was live on Twitch. So if you saw
It's
it,
just incomprehensible. It's just like
there,
pure gibberish.
at one point he is slurring
Yes,
his
I-
words. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, how about the Death Stranding? And
Yeah.
Evan,
Oh, it's
it's bad. It is.
it's bad.
Awful, but
It
it has
Death
to be released.
Stranding.
Yeah, Death
We are
Stranding. That's
Death Stranding. Death Stranding.
It's so
we are nothing if
fun.
not professional here.
We had
Oh,
a
yeah.
blast. I don't care.
It was fun.
Game Awards has come and gone. Mixed reactions there from the entire community. From Expedition 33 winning everything it was nominated for, to what didn't win, and just the overall presentation, really how the Game Awards ended. The lead-off video game, everyone went, okay. And everyone who's involved is going, what do you mean? It's cool. And everyone went, no, that's shit from a butt.
Which one was the lead off?
It was the hero shooter where it felt like just a bunch of slop thrown together.
Oh,
The
I was
free-to-play
thinking
game, yeah.
lead off as in like the start. You're talking about the one
yeah,
last
he
thing
means
at the end.
he means the
Yeah,
like
okay.
the one more thing.
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
yeah. And John, I will say, got me with this because the next day I was in the Discord and obviously I'm hungover, and he's like, "Yeah, you really liked that last game," and I was like, "No, I didn't." I was like, because I saw it obviously throughout Friday, and I was so mad at it because I was like, "That's the last game they showed," and John was like, "No, you actually did not like it," and I was like, "Okay, good to see it's consistent." And then
The
I
the
have
only
equal hate.
thing that does have going for it is the fact that it is free to play. So on
That's
pure happenstance that game comes out and doesn't suck complete balls, it
100%.
might actually survive because it's free to play, unlike Marathon.
or
Oh, you don't
Rivals.
want to spend $40 on that shit from a butt?
No, or
Rivals
Concord,
or-
right? Yeah, like
Overwatch
Rivals is free. Overwatch is free.
Oh, Rivals is free too. That's right. I don't know
Yeah.
why I was thinking otherwise.
So I mean that is one thing it does have in its corner. They picked the right price for people to be like, fuck it, I will try it, and maybe it's good. From the trailer, I'm not excited, but at least there is that possibility of like, hey man, maybe the movement in this game is a lot of fun, but why's everything got to be a fucking hero shooter?
Why
Like what?
was that
there
the
we
I
end
go.
of
don't
the
want
awards?
any of that. If that game was just a regular multiplayer game, I could see how it could be fun. But the fact they made it a hero shooter is what takes me out of it. I'm like, I don't know.
We have
I'm good.
those.
Yes.
There's
There's
a
a
good
lot of
amount of
those.
them.
But if they made it like, I mean, it's Titanfall devs, right? Ex Respawn devs. If they had
And,
made
like,
it
yeah, a
just
bunch of
like
other-
a Titanfall multiplayer without the mechs and some destructible environments, it could have been really cool.
Just do the pilots or the arena, like the 3v3 mode from Apex as its own game, or do like you said, like where it's just team deathmatch with the pilots from Titanfall and like some planet somewhere, but yeah, they just have no mechs or something like that,
Yeah.
or just stop being little bitches and go back to Titanfall.
Go back to making
Like,
Titanfall.
I just want Titanfall 3.
Just make Titanfall 3.
Oh, you
Like,
want something
they're
that
also
has 3?
they're I was gonna say they're reversed to something with 3 now too. It's an infection.
Why
They'll
didn't you
never-
talk to me the other day, Nick?
There should never be a
No, what do
Last of Us 3.
no,
I'm
Evan,
just saying
time
that
out.
now.
Time out, Evan. What do you want to talk about? I'm
You're on your-
curious.
Okay.
No, I won't put you
No,
through that.
no,
not
it's
on,
okay.
not on the show. No.
Actually,
I don't need
technically
your
speaking-
sassy ass coming after me.
Technically speaking, what we are discussing today does have direct correlation to a specific thing in that sphere, but we'll get to that later. There is with all the RAM prices and the
6
thing,
degrees of Half-Life 3. Is that what I'm hearing?
6 degrees of
Yeah.
Valve at this point. I mean, shit.
It's gonna be Arc Raiders won multiplayer game award, so Gen AI caused RAM prices to spike, which is why Steam Machine won't
Yes.
get announced, which is why Half-Life 3.
Yes.
There's like 4 or 5 degrees. I'm getting
That's
there.
that is
brain
the,
hurts.
Birdie's like
that-
trying
that
to
is
go
the
through all the data.
consensus right now.
Let
as
me
to why
grab
we
my
have the price.
tinfoil hat real quick.
Yeah, hold on, put that on. All right.
That's the
I need to
consensus
make
right
one for the show, I think. Every time Nick starts going on a Half-Life 3 thing, just...
Just
More
it's
shit
always
leaks.
on your desk
More
somewhere.
shit
you can
leaks.
just send
More
it.
shit leak. And just like we were going to get the announcement at the Game
We were
Awards
so
on the
close.
11th.
I don't.
We
I
were
I
so
Were
never
close.
we?
truly.
Were
I
we?
never
Because the one
truly
last
thought-
thing was a hero shooter.
I never truly thought we would get that at the game. It's a hope, right? If it wasn't going to be released prior, it's always been a hope.
You
of
seemed
mine. Like,
pretty confident.
I
Oh,
feel some type of way.
Real life note here. At work, leading up to the Game Awards last week, I would occasionally lean over and I would look and see what Nick had on, and it was 99% of the time, almost always Tyler McVicker on Twitch.
Evan
And
would
it
look
was
over and
like,
I'd be like,
it
doing
looks
this.
like. It looks like that image of Charlie from It's Always Sunny with the Pepe Sylvia board. Like it looks, like every stream image looks like that on his stream because he
just
just
want
looks
it.
insane. He's like, it's here, and it's like, it probably is, but like you don't need to do all that.
He's got red string strung up everywhere. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
wrapped around
It's-
his neck and wrapped
it's a
around his
spider-
balls and just
yeah,
It got-
it's everywhere.
It got so bad at me for work that I was being roasted by my like boss while my
Oh, yeah.
boss was going on a trip. And he was like, "Hey, how's that
funny.
Half-Life 3 announcement, you nerd?" And I went,
He specifically said,
team
I'm
chat.
so happy that he said, he was like, I'm so happy that Half-Life 3 got announced. Oh, wait.
And then
To
added
be
And
fair,
then-
it's not Valve style. They would absolutely just
then-
announce
no.
that shit on a random Tuesday
Which
and be
is
like,
what
I
will
don't know,
happen.
fucking take it.
Right.
which is what will happen.
Yeah.
But to get back
Yeah,
at
when it's another Half-Life game, not Half-Life 3, because it's never happening. I love you. I'm sorry.
love you, but to get back at him and
Half-Life
Brendan,
Freeman Gordon.
what I did was they were in a different state, and I found out which bar they were at,
Oh,
and I hijacked the touch tunes. So I started.
Hell yeah.
I had coins, so I played Tiny Tim over the touch tunes while they were in the bar. And so people had the entire bar, I guess, was like, "What the fuck is this?" Because all you hear is Tip throw through the tulips while you're trying to drink. Yep. And then
That's amazing.
and then we rickrolled them. Connor and I rickrolled them too.
Hell yeah.
That's
States
good.
away, and I got the asses.
Good
Anyways.
Speaking of getting rickrolled,
Yeah, fuck.
Gen AI.
Yeah. So, generative AI. AI in general in the gaming industry right now is kind of a hot topic. The word slop this year is the Webster Dictionary.
That's Merriam-Webster's word of the year is slop. Yeah.
Awful
Good.
stuff
Great.
we are going
Love
through
it.
in this timeline. It's it's very divisive, right? So either people are like, it's all right, or they're like, absolutely not. We, I guess, are going to put ourselves in the crossfire here and give our opinions on generative AI. Who wants
Brody
to
and
go
I
first?
Brody and I did not agree to walk out into a firing squad.
What this
I'll walk
conversation
into
is.
the firing squad.
All right, fuck it.
I'll fucking do it.
do
I think it has a place. When used in a way that is not taking jobs from someone and used as a device to help make games or repeat actions that have already been done, or in the case of Larian, right? That's the big one that came out in the last couple of days. They're like, yeah, we
Yes.
use some AI, and it got completely misconstrued because journalists are jackoffs.
Yeah.
And Swen came out and was like, hey, we use it basically in the dream boarding phase, right?
Yes.
Like getting ideas.
Yeah.
As someone who runs D&D campaigns, I also use it sometimes to get ideas because I'm fucking brain dead when it comes to making things from time to time, right? I don't ever use the ideas they give me, but it gets me in the right headspace to create what I want to create. I think there is a place for AI. I think it is a tool, not a replacement, a tool that can be used to help get the brain flowing in the direction you want, or do something repetitive that doesn't need to be done by an individual. It should never replace art, should never replace music, should never replace a person, right? Because games are, at the end of the day, even the games that feel heartless, they are still a labor of love, right? Like the developers are not the ones that are making games fucking terrible for you. It's usually executives that are making that call. But executives in the same vein are the ones that are wanting to use AI because they can cut jobs and increase their profit margin in the grand scheme of things. I think if approached properly, which it will not be, uh, if approached properly by, you know, a studio like Larian, right, using it for dreamboarding, I think it is a good tool. I don't think it is any different than using something as like Excel or fucking Word, right? It is a tool. It should not be the end all be all. It should not be what you are completely making your game based on. It should not create the art that the end user is going to see, nor should the people that are creating the art utilize too many functions of it, right? They should use it as just something. Hey, this is put you in the right headspace of what you want. Hey, I'm having a hard time picturing this. It's a good way to go through a lot of sources in a quick manner without having to endlessly Google and waste time, right? But that being said, anytime you defend AI in any capacity, it gets a lot of pushback, which I agree with, right? Like I'm not a big fan of AI. But I don't think that if used properly, it is a hindrance to what is happening in the gaming industry. Like when Larian came out and was like, "Hey, we do use it in this dream board phase. We have 23 concept artists out of like 86 artists that are employed by them, and they want to hire more. They
24.
are
They
not
are
replacing their people."
24 more. 24
Yes,
more concept artists. So nearly like 47, 48 total
right.
artists. Nearly 50 artists more.
Yeah, and
That's crazy.
don't get me wrong, there's tons of games on Steam that release every week that are this AI slop, right?
Oh
Like
yeah.
this just completely generated, all of the art's fucking randomly generated shit from the internet, and it should not exist. And we have reached the point where now Steam has put an AI tag on there. We had the deal with Epic, Tim Sweeney not too long ago being like, listen,
Oh
everything's going to
yeah.
be made by AI eventually, and everyone hated that. Shocker.
Yeah.
Well, fuck him.
And he's a scumbag and fucking yeah. But
Fuck
I
him.
think Steam was doing the right thing by being like, hey, it uses AI, and it's up to the developer to explain what they use AI for, which I think is good, right?
Yeah.
If a developer can make a good case for what they are using AI for, the people who are getting butthurt about AI being used, like read the fucking description. There was a game not too long ago. I'm drawing a blank on what it was. I think it might have been that Metal Eden game we played. They used some AI for
Oh yeah.
something in the game,
Uh-huh.
and they got completely just bombarded with,
Lambasted. Yeah.
yeah, it was like these terrible reviews and this and that. And they're like, listen, motherfuckers, like they even responded to a couple comments. They were very professional about it. They're like, we used AI for this exact purpose. This is the only thing it is used for. And it was like a
Still not good enough.
non-consequential, like no big
Yeah.
deal, but the people are just blowing them up. And it's like, that's not okay either, right? You don't go after people for using Photoshop. You don't go after people for doing, you know, any sort of editing to their things. Like, why is it okay to attack a small indie dev over using AI for something that doesn't even affect the end product? Like you wouldn't even know it was there if that tag wasn't there. That is where it's not okay.
We're about to run into a bigger
Anytime you
problem here.
see, I also like I follow a lot of art pages on like Reddit and things like that. So you get every time somebody posts artwork, this looks like AI slop. It's like no, it's not everything is AI slop, and all of the comments just are. That's all it is people arguing whether it's AI or not. And they're like, well, if you look at this, and it's like, no, they just didn't use lighting right. Like it happens.
Yeah.
Lighting's notoriously hard in art.
Right.
Like
Like
they don't have six fingers and three balls. Like, what are we doing here? It's not a big deal. Like,
That's
but
a callback.
everything, yeah, right.
who
Go,
could that
go, go
uh,
listen to Roll for Deception.
yeah,
yeah,
nine
shameless plug.
toes, three balls.
9 toes, 3 balls.
But yeah,
That's true.
I hate how artists in this day and age are just getting completely tore apart, getting accused of AI when it's not AI, right? Not everything is AI, but that's the world we live in now, where there is so much AI shit out there that everybody's getting completely bombarded with these fucking comments of being like, yeah, AI slop, blah 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 blah. But in the same token, I hate that there's a lot of tattoo artists out there that are using nothing but AI and tattooing AI fucking bullshit on people, right? Like that's not good either. It's a hard conversation to have because there is a place for it. I all of these companies that are investing heavily into it and driving the prices of GPUs and RAM up can suck my fucking dick from the back.
Yeah.
And I hope it all implodes on them and they lose a fuckload of money because that's fucking horseshit. Like the consumer should not be paying for your bullshit. RAM should not be $500 fucking dollars. That's
For a
insane.
fucking 32 gig kit. That,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
and not
yeah,
even
if-
that fast of a speed.
No.
Yeah, like a fucking 3200 megahertz. Like, okay, like
Yeah.
what are we doing here?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, why even build a computer? Why build your own? Just buy a pre-built because they're gonna have to eat the cost on it.
Yeah,
So like,
If they don't mark their
it's
shit up way more anyways. At this
I
point,
mean, Micro Center had their 3 deals, like their 3, their motherboard, RAM, and CPU kits come out again for combos, and I was surprised at some of them being like $600, $700, $800, and I'm like, there's 32 gigs of RAM in there. Like, how you doing that?
What a steal.
Like, yeah, and it wasn't
buy
slow.
this
It
and
was
sell the RAM.
have a
it was like
60.
DDR5 6000, and I was like, okay, and
I
it
have a
was like
60.
$672 for all three parts,
Yeah.
and I was like, it's like, all right, so what are you doing?
I have a 64 gig kit in my closet right now of DDR5, like 6,000.
Oh, you a rich bitch then, huh?
Yeah, really.
I don't like flexing it often. I'm just letting you guys know if you need a
God
loan,
damn.
I got you. All right.
Statements like that are
Nick
gonna get
slapped
you
that
robbed.
bad boy on the table. It's like, I got 64 gigs of RAM I'm not even using.
That's Cyberpunk right there. These are my
DDR5.
Yeah.
Eddies are actually just sticks
Goddamn.
of RAM, if you didn't know.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that's my whole sentiment is I think it has a place, but it has gotten out of control, and so many companies are using it poorly and making it bad for everyone else. And also, fuck you guys for driving up the price of RAM. I'm glad I built my emulator PC earlier this year
right?
before everything
Yeah.
went up.
Before this got bad, yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad I don't have to upgrade for a while even
Everyone's
because
patting their
fuck me
computer,
running.
Pat their computer on
I
the head,
just-
like, don't break down, don't break down.
I just put more RAM in my son's PC too. Like earlier this year, I like completely lucked out on all of this. I was like, "Holy
Oh my
shit!"
god,
Oh, yeah.
Alex has my DDR5 RAM. He's rich.
Oh,
You don't even have it in your
Alex
closet.
has the
He's
big
rich.
dick now.
He's rich. To jump into the proverbial firing squad now, or jump in front of it. I largely agree with I actually pretty much agree with everything you said. I don't think there's a single thing I disagree with. I agree in the sense that AI should be used as a tool. I don't think it should ever be a replacement. Absolutely. Like you said, music, art, movies, TV shows, all of those things at the end of the day should be made by humans. And I think that's a very important distinction. Part of this is a very important distinction is that they're talking about they're at the stage where, like you said, and I will be completely honest, not only have all three of us at one point or another used AI related to D&D. I remember when we were doing, like, we were in the really heavy phase of that a couple of years ago, and it was John, both of you guys, myself, we were all using AI in some sort
Midjourney?
of way to flesh out, either Midjourney to flesh out the idea of what we were looking for, or we were using ChatGPT to sort of spruce some things up and give some things a bit more flair or pop. I specifically use that a little bit, and that's coming from someone who enjoys writing. Like, but like, I'm not that great of a creative writer. I can get the basic ideas down and I can filter. I can fill in a bit more than that. But if I say particularly don't have the time to spend, for a couple hours a night, trying to really get in the headspace of a fictional character and stuff like that. And instead I can go, okay, I have the basic understanding of what I want. I'll write out this whole Word document myself. And then I'm going to feed it into ChatGPT and say, really don't change anything. Just make it sound more poppy, creative, whatever. Yeah. And then I read through that and I proofread it myself. And then after I make my changes, then I send it to my DM and go, here's my backstory. Or I create, I have Midjourney go, show me a couple like of different ideas of like a person that looks like this, wearing this sort of armor. It's in this sort of sci-fi universe. Okay, this is sort of the idea. Now I'm going to create something on my own, then show it to somebody, and that's exactly what I think Larian did and is doing. And they've been I think that like at least Sven has been very honest about that. It seems, in that he's very much like, we use it for, PowerPoint presentations, which is like, as far as I'm concerned, I couldn't care less.
Well, and 9 times out of 10, the concept art is not what actually goes into the game anyway, right? Like,
Right.
you look at concept art for
Look at
Cyberpunk, it
Dispatch.
looks entirely different, or Dispatch, or
You can
whatever it
read
may
or you
be.
can see the concept art for Dispatch in the game, and then you can go and
Yeah,
look at Blonde Blazer in the game and go, oh, that's like you can see how they took certain pieces, but it's not all one of the original concept arts.
yeah,
It's an amalgamation of it, which is kind of what it's used for. And in my opinion, if it's that's a big part of this for me is that a lot of people are saying a lot of things without even knowing what tools they're using.
yeah,
Like nobody knows what engine they're using. Nobody knows what type of machine learning software they're using. If it's built into their tool set that they currently use. Like, I'm sorry, I flat out don't believe that Larian is just like has a tab open for Chat GPT or Sora, and they're
no,
just like typing in like make me a cool like fantasy lizard having sex with like a human, and then they put that in the trailer they showed
in
at the
the
Game Awards.
trailer.
I
Yeah,
don't think that's what happened.
absolutely not. And
Um,
nobody who played Baldur's Gate 3 could honestly be like, yeah, this is AI.
no,
Not a single fucking bit of that, I believe, would be AI. Like, there's too much heart, there's too much soul, there's too much passion behind that project, and
yeah,
I don't expect there to be any change in Divinity, right? Like, I think it's going to be the same, and
I
it's
think it's going to be more, right? This is their baby. This is
yeah,
their
this
IP.
is
This is,
yeah,
so that's another incentive to this, which is I think important. Like I think it's important to take the sum of everything that we've learned over the past couple weeks and then apply it to like today, which was that whole statue that was the tease that ended up being Divinity. Specifically, one of the developers, Cromwell, I think he's one of the other big devs from Larian on Twitter. And
yeah,
his big thing from that statue that he talked about was that it was very important for us to build this physically and have it be such high quality and take some interesting photos with it and sort of tease everybody first and then you guys sort of discover what it was, but it's about it being a physical thing in real life. It's not a generated image. He specifically I think says it's not AI, it's not. And he said
yeah,
people when it first was shown off, when specifically like Nick you pointed out like the alligator on the side or the crocodile or whatever, like all these other things, and you're like, well, that's not this franchise or that that doesn't exist. And they're like, people were saying, well, it must be AI. And it's like, this was a point to prove that it's not, and that it's a
yeah,
physical thing that we had artists do. And then
right,
that happens, the Game Awards happen. And then, where, by the way, Arc Raiders, a game that has been very open about its Gen AI usage and create and part in its creative process. I will take that back a little bit. They've admitted that they use it. I would like to see exactly how it works or
mhm,
how they do it before I make a final judgment. Um, but in that instance, it's like I just take it from like I said this to Nick the other day, which was you don't what annoys me about like and I saw a lot of this on Twitter was like, oh, this is like goodwill losing simulator, speed run, things like that. And it's like, so let me get this straight. The game comes out in what, 2022, 2023, Baldur's Gate 3, and then you have 2 years of excellent post-launch support. You also
mhm.
had like what, a year of early access,
Yeah,
I think. I don't
you had
remember
a
how
year
long
of
it
it.
went
Yeah,
for.
something like that.
So you have a year of early access where the community helps guide the development so the game becomes even better. The game comes out, sells gangbusters, more than they expected, wins a whole bunch of game awards and a whole bunch of other awards. And then they have an excellent 2 years of post-launch content where they give us an in-game mod manager and improvements to a whole bunch of quests and processes and things like that. A way to customize your character in game that wasn't there before, and they also give each class another subclass. And then they go, okay, now we're moving on to the next thing. All this goodwill's earned up. They have one interview where Sven says, "Yeah, we use AI at the beginning to generate some like it's like to explore ideas," and then apparently all of that's lost. Come on.
Uh, give it a week and that'll be completely gone. Like, I mean, listen,
People are gonna forget about
I,
it.
I love Cyberpunk in the state it currently is in.
Hmm.
But when that launched, it was a fucking shit show. I bring this
It
up
was.
all the time because
Yeah.
everybody now is like, oh, just fucking frothing at the mouth for anything from CD Projekt Red. And it's
Cyberpunk
like,
is also now
yes,
like what Crisis was when it dropped. It's like, can your computer run Cyberpunk? It's
right.
like so
A little bit of that too. Yeah.
we're using that as the template now for if your computer is worthy. But when it first dropped, everybody using that template
It
wasn't
didn't
shy
matter.
about
It ran like
saying
shit for everybody.
it's never gonna be good. I'll never like this. And those people are like, oh, what are you? I never said that. Like, yes,
Yeah.
you fucking did. This could be the same
Well,
thing in a couple weeks to a couple years for this.
Save
yeah,
those
and
tweets from this
I,
week.
my
Check
main
all of them
point with
yourself.
that though is
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
look at how everybody is super excited about the next fucking CD Projekt Red thing, and they completely already forgot about a god awful fucking launch that lasted years before it was finally to the state that it was good again. And the
2
same
years,
thing
I think.
happened with The Witcher 3, and they
And 2.
forgot about it then. And 2, like all of these things that get blown up in the gaming sphere, and obviously we are closer than a lot of people are because we do this, right?
Yeah, we do
So we
this.
hear all of this. We hear all the bullshit. We hear all the fucking this and that and the problem of the week. And then the next week they're like, oh my God, Larian. Oh, after the week before they left shitty comments all over everything Larian did because they said they use AI to fucking dreamboard something. Like, what are we doing here?
Right.
I
Well,
it, it's so predictable at this point that somebody's gonna get mad about something and the next thing comes out and they fucking just
well, and I have a particular bone to pick because I unfortunately I'll say this. My algorithm on Twitter is very much tailored to who I am as a person, I feel. It gets a lot of things right. And I see a lot of artists that I'm seeing both takes on my feed right now, which is I'm seeing a lot of artists and a lot of people who also have worked in gaming comment back to Larian, and they have good takes, or not good takes or bad takes, because that's obviously subjective to me, but they've had either pro Larian takes or like anti Larian takes on this, however you want to read that as, or like anti AI, pro AI, whatever. And a lot of the thing that I have an issue with is that when I'm reading the people who are sort of like, one of the big things I took away that I didn't think about, which I was thankful to learn from a lot of these sorts of responses, was that, so again, same company that earned all this goodwill was also honest in this interview and was like, this is what we use it for. And Swen had to say those comments, issue a statement to IGN, and then tweet something out himself.
Yes.
And then after he tweeted that thing out, which has gotten, I think the last time I looked, it was like around 52,000 likes or whatever. So it's pretty good compared, especially to a lot of the replies in terms of just like what he said. And I thought it was pretty well worded myself. All of the comments are still, but you're not getting it. And it's like, so do you think that, okay, so this is a studio that by and large, the community, the public has loved, as well as developers, both working with them and outside, like from the outside, going, wow, you guys are like you guys run a great ship. And the game that came out was, guess what? It wasn't Cyberpunk. It wasn't plagued with tons of bugs. It ran very good. It ran on older hardware. It was a fun game. And they had all that goodwill. And for being honest, he got a shitstorm. Do you think that that encourages any other developer to ever be honest again?
Thank you.
Do you think, like, and let's be honest, we already knew that Infinity Ward, Activision, whoever made the Black Ops 7, just now Treyarch, they used Gen AI for making a bunch of their calling cards. We know that. We know that Arc Raiders, which just won multiplayer game award, best multiplayer game award, uses Gen AI at some point in its process.
Bring up Expedition 33 as well.
Expedition 33 did admit that they also used Gen AI, which again, like, people completely forgot about. People completely. Yep. I didn't even know that until after they just swept every single category they were nominated for, and that doesn't mean I think they deserve to lose them. I just didn't know that.
Like, they're also a studio of like fucking 40 people or something like that.
And that's the thing, is that, you know what? Not once at any point when I have played the game did I ever think that anything I saw was made with AI at all.
No,
it all felt from the heart. Absolutely.
And I'm sure they did similar to what Larian does, right? Like, I think that is, I know I already said it, but I think that's the perfect fucking use for it, because it is taking things from the internet and combining them, and then you run with that to create your own thing. And we live in a world where we are remaking movies year after year. We are remaking television shows. There's very few ideas that have not been done at this point. Let's be entirely honest. There are very few original ideas anymore, right? And I don't say that as a go steal someone else's idea, but you are going to take inspirations from what you know. You are going to be inspired by the art that you consume. And in this way, they are taking things, they're taking, instead of going to a singular post and being like, okay, so this is what they did, I'm going to do that. They are taking an amalgamation of things and then springboarding off of that to create something new.
Also, what's in their head? Oh, sorry. I
Yes.
thought you meant
Well,
for
yeah,
talking
yeah, yeah.
about. I thought you meant talking about the people who complain about it, because that's what I. Sorry,
Right.
I misread.
But like for me, I am someone who goes through writer's block a lot.
Myself. Yeah.
I have these little moments of creativity and these little moments of like, oh, I know exactly what I want to do. And then where I'm prepping for the next D&D session, I'm like, fuck. And so the last session, you both were in it.
Yeah.
I was struggling, like really, really struggling to put something together. I knew the general idea of what I wanted to do, but I
Sure.
didn't know exactly how I wanted to piece it together. I used ChatGPT. I go, hey, this is my idea. This is what I want to do. It spit out some things. I didn't use a single fucking thing from it, but it got my brain moving in the direction I wanted to.
Right.
I didn't like literally took nothing from the prompt it gave me, and I
Yeah.
go, perfect. I've got the idea now. And then I was able to create my own thing. Just because they're using the generative AI doesn't mean that they are actually stealing those ideas, right? Like that's where we it's hard to know, especially in this day and age where, again, most ideas are no longer original. But at the same time, utilizing a tool that is at your disposal and is something that almost all of corporate everywhere is using at this point in some capacity, because
Yes.
and that is that I fucking there's college kids that are getting through college by utilizing chat gpt. I don't think that's right. I don't agree with that. As someone who just went back to school and finished their master's degree, I would never have used chat gpt to fucking write me a paper. But
To those kids, y'all suck. I'm just
yeah,
saying.
you guys suck. But I think it's tough, right? Because where do you draw the line? Where do you actually put the line in the sand of don't cross this? If you use it for this, it's fine. And also, what company is going to come out and be honest about that? Like you said earlier, no, nobody's going to even want to admit to
There's
utilizing it at this point, except for the people who are, they're trying to get shareholders. And that's the
right.
other part of it. They're like, yeah, we can do it cheaper now. And shareholders like, oh my God,
And that's
say more, don't stop.
another very important thing, is that Larian is owned by Swen. It is
Yes, it's
privately
a
owned.
privately owned company.
So here's the crazy thing, is that he doesn't answer to a board or a group of
No,
shareholders that tell him you have to use Gen AI. He wants to explore it himself. And like, I'm not saying the dude's completely right on everything. He might be wrong. He might, and like, if there's a lot of pushback at his studio, but that's where I have that sort of trust, is that if you've got all your, say he hires all these concept artists, there's 47 concept artists, and they all kind of say, you know what, we don't even want to use these tools, I think we got it on our own. And he goes, okay, then don't use them. Then who gives a shit?
yeah,
Then who cares? Like, okay, so it was available to him and they didn't use it. And hey, guess what? Say there was one artist that did decide to use it, and same thing. Like, that's the thing, is that, I also have some bad bouts of writer's block from time to time, specifically when I'm creating creative things like a D&D character. I'm very good at writing essays. To double back to something real quick, to all those college kids that are using ChatGPT to write your fucking essays, you need to grow. You need to grow the fuck up.
yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna
All right,
get into the workforce and realize you don't actually know what you're doing, and it's not gonna be
dude.
good.
Yeah, no. You absolutely need to learn how to. You need to learn how to write that report at like 5 p.m. when it's due at 8 p.m. the same night. Like, you have to learn how to do things at the
Yes.
last minute like that. Otherwise, you'll never learn. And I know that from experience, because I never did a single one of my essays in college before the day it was due. Every single time I did an essay, it was the day it was due, and
God damn.
I got A's every time, so it works out. But to go back to that sort of situation, like, I don't have a problem with that. One of the specific examples I liked that somebody had mentioned, and this spoke to me personally, because I'm a better writer than I will ever be an artist in anything. I can't draw, can't paint, can't do anything like that. I'm just terrible at it. But I can write pretty well. And I like the idea of being able to write something out, and say, Brody, you're the artist, and I want to write this thing out because there's this sort of side quest we're doing for Divinity, and it involves a lot of body horror, and I know how to write that, but I don't know how to envision that. So I use this tool that we both have, and I say, like, here's what I put in. Could you show me like some vague image of this? And then I send it over to you, and you go, oh, I get it. And I'm like, yeah, can you kind of create something like that, but like don't use this part of it? And like, I don't think this really fits the vibe, but like, you get what I'm saying. And you go, okay, yeah. And then you write something, or you draw something completely different, and I go, that's perfect. This is exactly what, because you can inherently now understand my writing better because you've seen the image, sort of vaguely.
Yeah.
And that's what I think it's useful for. It sort of bridges that gap. Whereas before, what would I have to do? Okay, well, I'll write this out. I'll give it to you, Brody. Brody, can you write a bunch of concept art for this one thing we might not even use? Okay, now you spend a week doing all that, and we end up not using it. Now you've lost a week, or you've lost a couple days, and that's what turns games that take 4 to 5 years into 10 years.
Yep.
It's the mundane, like you said earlier, it's the mundane processes, the things that are like just busy work that you could shorten,
Yep.
and that's perfectly fine to me, but that's the thing, is that if it comes out, if Divinity comes out and it's like, well, this is clearly just chat GPT nonsense, then it speaks for itself. But I
Yeah.
don't think it'll feel that way, because like you said, I'm sure they used some sort of very early version of Gen AI or procedural AI at the very beginning of storyboarding or mood boarding Baldur's Gate 3. And yet I could not tell you where it bleeds through.
What also surprises me is generative AI is essentially procedurally generated content, which so many people's favorite roguelites and all of their entire history of gaming has been using, and we just turn a blind eye to that. That's not the same thing. No, it's the same fucking thing. It's a different name. They captured a keyword that looks real fucking good to investors and everyone else. It's the same fucking thing to some
Yeah.
extent, right? Like not every AI process is the same, but the procedurally generated content is utilizing very similar technology to do the exact same thing, and nobody's ever said shit about that in games. Like, yeah, there was some comments here and there, and there was a lot of bad games that came out utilizing that tech, but for the most part, you play a game like fucking
Risk of
compl-
Rain.
Risk of Rain, or yeah, like any of these roguelikes that people love.
Hades.
Hades.
Yeah. Yeah, I guarantee they use some form of a generative AI or a procedurally generated process where they have so many different rules and so many different rooms and things that happen in these rooms, and they go, here, spit this out randomly. Like that, it's
Well,
a similar process. You don't want to fine tune all of that, right? Like, it's just one of those things that people get so butthurt because they utilize the word AI now, and because it has been that hit word that every company is utilizing, be like, we're using AI to improve our processes and fuck over our customers. And you're like, yeah, cool, thanks, awesome, love that, thank you.
I
Can
just
I
want
have
to
another, please?
can I point out, this is all this is one of the only other things I can say about this, because I just realized the irony in it as we were talking. It's that if you read, there's a different, and I'm crazy, so maybe this is just something I did, but like I've somehow managed to find a German article with a German newspaper with Swen, which was, I think they were speaking in, or maybe it wasn't a German newspaper. I don't remember where it was from, but it was
Swedish, I would assume.
yeah, it may have been Swedish. I don't remember, but it was auto translated, so I was just reading it, and uh, Swen specifically talks about how the cinematic trailer that we all saw and were like, "Oh my god, it's equally beautiful and terrifyingly horrible at the same time." Uh, he specifically says how that is directly an inspiration from the movie The Wicker Man, and yet there has not been a single complaint about that,
No.
because it was created. Okay, so let me get. If I followed this sort of path correctly, it's because that movie was created by a person. It wasn't created by a computer. But Larian still took the inspiration from a human created product and made their own sort of thing, or even almost egregiously worse, directly copied it and just said we're going to do the same exact thing. According to this sort of standard that is set,
Right.
I guess. And that's where I sort of like lose the plot, so to speak, because every time I see these arguments on Twitter, I can't understand it because no matter how many good points people have that come back and say like, well, if you've worked in a job like this, or if you've had a sort of experience like this at a major company, you know, it can range from anything from they're forcing you to use the tool to it's just a suggestion to rather it's only used at this one point in the process. It's not something you can just use all the time. And it could also be something where that work is also potentially, believe it or not, checked. Hey, I looked at this, you know, concept art you created. It's a little too similar to all this other shit that is like clearly not from you. You know, like that's the other thing is I don't think that Larian's just letting anybody show up and
No.
just create, you know, hey, chat GPT me this cool ranger looking character for Divinity that we can show as an origin character and it just comes up with something like I don't think that's happening. And I don't think that they're using it as a crutch. I think it's like you said, it's a tool. And that's perfectly fine to me. As long as, again, like you said, you're not cutting your employees just to use
Right.
this thing in place of it. That's very important. Nick, please speak. You have not spoken, and I can see you
Yeah.
fidgeting in your chair.
44 minutes in.
I know.
There's plenty of room in the firing range here, my guy.
Y'all were going
Yeah.
on. AI should never, can never, and will never replace a human's work on anything. It is simply not.
100%.
It's not feasible. It's not, because once a computer, not like what we're gaming on, recording on, or what they're creating, this media, this art form, video games are art. So you have to treat it as art. A computer AI cannot replace human emotion, cannot put to the screen what we saw in the Divinity trailer. It just simply cannot convey that type of emotion. It could try, but you know it's bullshit. It's not made with human hands. With that being said, what Larian is specifically talking about is not getting rid of even the concept and storyboarding. This is, we need an idea. You know what? Ask the fucking computer really quick. I want to see Lizard Man big axe. And it spits out a thing.
That's not where I thought you were going.
No. I'm not
You could have
During
gone a
that
lot of
trailer,
ways.
I'm like, oh shit.
Could have gone a lot of ways, yeah.
But like, but they're just going, oh, okay, I see that. All right, throw that away. Draw that. But you draw it how you want it, right?
Yeah.
They're not taking that and replacing a concept artist. Because once they do that, then I have a problem. If you're telling me now you don't have a concept artist because AI replaced it, now I have a problem with your product. I will not support your product at that point. The minute AI replaces a human is where the line is drawn. Yeah. If it's used as a tool, you need to think of it as, if you have access to a fucking air ratchet, would you use the air ratchet, or are you going to use the regular old fucking ratchet? What are you going to use here, right? I'm not saying this should replace all mundane tasks. We need people to check back-end code. We need people to do the fucking stupid fucking mundane tasks.
Yeah,
but
Microsoft. Sorry.
Yeah, fucking bullshit. But
Piss
if
me
we
off.
can mitigate some of those things without replacing humans and keeping that human touch that is very essential to art itself in the product that we as the consumer want to see and love, then fine. But if we cannot define the lines, and if companies are going to abuse these lines and continually step, Larian is not a company I think will do this. Activision is. Ubisoft is.
Absolutely.
All of these other
They didn't care.
companies,
It was immediate. You could tell right away. Sorry, Nick, but
No,
like
good.
it was right away. Those calling cards, you could tell they were AI generated. It's like, you know, like they weren't even trying to hide it. Go ahead. Sorry.
But we won't know those lines until we see how many companies start stepping on them and blurring the lines and then going, well, what do you mad at us for? A human still made it. Right. But in the process of this one human making it, you deleted 32 other humans that were on that one human's team and replaced him. Now his team is AI.
Yeah.
That is my issue. We don't know where this is going to end up. Do I think it should be used in the way that Larian's using it? Yeah, I do. This is not ending up in your game. Let's get that straight. What is happening in the dream board phase is looked at for maybe a day or two and then go, okay, anyways. So, Larry, what did you draw up? Oh, fuck that thing.
Lariat,
Yeah.
Larian.
Larry Larian.
Sorry.
Larry
So,
Larian
Larry,
himself.
Larian. Oh,
that
the
is
original.
that is the distinct difference between what Larian has done and what Activision has done, what Larian has done and what the devs between Arc Raiders is doing, because we don't exactly know how they're using AI. We don't know what they're doing in their game. I like the game,
Well,
but we don't know. Larian's very honest right here. So
and that's the biggest, the saddest part about this is that this you will never know from another studio again, because
After
there's
this.
zero incentive, because there's clearly no incentive to tell the truth, because this is what we get. This is what, or not what we get, but this is what Larian gets. Larian gets, Swen comes out and he's honest. He's even honest, or I don't remember if it was his words or I think it was GameSpot's words. I don't remember who his original interview was with, or Bloomberg. It was Bloomberg. Sorry, where their words are like, there's been. I think he even admits to there being some pushback at Larian, but largely people at, like Swen says, largely people like have gotten used to it or whatever, and people run with that and they go like, oh, so they're being held against their will and being forced to use AI in like a human farm, and it's like, no. It's like, it's just there. There were some complaints initially, and people have gotten used to it, whether that means either if they decided to use it or they decided not to. And like, I also think that's the thing. I don't feel like Swen is going down to the floor and saying, hey, the floor of everybody, all the graphic designers, and going, hey, I need you guys to put in a quota of at least 50, searches on ChatGPT Pro a month to make this worth it. Like, it sounds absurd on its face. This does, and Swen is a leader by and large. He's clearly shown that. I mean, you don't walk around in a suit of armor like that for nothing. But like, I don't think he's a guy that's going to sit there and just force everybody to use a tool because he thinks he can make a quick buck on it. Because then what is the point of the past 30 years of your work if it all came down to just shortening it to using a tool? And I think that's what a lot of people are missing the point of, is like, see the bigger picture. It is not about making some change back. It is, he's, how old is he? He's like in his mid 50s.
Probably.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
So count it down, how many games can he create? How many games can he create that he has left? How much time does he have left? How, and that sort of thing. And he's not old, clearly. My dad's probably the same age or around the same age. And you have to consider that if a game on average nowadays without AI would take you 10 years, or you could make these sorts of games in 5 years, 4 years, if it could really cut down on efficiency or cut up, make efficiency that great, then I don't inherently see the problem, again, as long as you're not replacing people. And when I say people, I mean in every sense: voice actors, writers, musicians, engineers, programmers, all that sort of stuff. Don't replace people, but you absolutely allow them to use this tool that can be used in all sorts of ways as a tool.
Yeah.
That's my point.
And if they're using it solely for references, like, if they weren't using that, they're just going to be Googling, right? Like, they're still going to be looking at other people's art to get an idea of what they want. They Googled some strange thing of Lizard Man fucks some fucking chick in Bazaar with Wicker Man in the background. Like,
Rule 34.
like, they're still going to be using references, but they are references, and that is the purpose of them, right? And we've also seen so many instances in the gaming industry. Bungie was one that came up not too terribly long ago, where they used a reference and copied the same exact fucking art.
It was just the same art.
Stole someone's art. So would you rather have an amalgamation of references that then somebody takes and actually makes real art with? Or would you rather a company just straight up steal fucking art? Like, neither is entirely ideal, right? But
No.
in this specific use case, use AI. Fuck it. You were taking all of the work of tracking down all of these different references and resources, putting them into a general idea, and then doing your own thing. There is zero harm in that. Zero fucking harm in that. It hurts no one. It helps people. It helps people get creative and make the things they want to make. And it also helps you get games in your fucking hand quicker. There is no reason. Games are so fucking hard to make. They are so complicated. There's so much that goes into it. It takes 10 years to develop games half the time from the initial like storyboarding and everything else, right? Or not even that, the concept phase into, the final product. It takes so long to make games. If this is a tool that helps them make it a little bit better without stealing people's art or completely utilizing AI art, I think it's perfectly acceptable and should be used. I, but anything beyond that, I think, is where the line gets drawn. I think that is where that line in the sand is. If you're utilizing it for anything beyond that initial phase of creating an idea of what you want to do, that's where you're getting into the category of taking people's jobs or
Yeah.
making just bullshit.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I mentioned earlier the tattoo artist, right? Like if you're having a complete brain block and you use AI to get an idea of something and then you create your own artwork from there, like I don't think there's any harm in that either. But again, it has to be the concept phase. Outside of the concept phase is where it's a problem, in my mind.
Yeah, that's what I meant by my previous statement, right? Of like if that allows you to cut down really a lot on the pre-production side of things or like getting all those concepts together. And it's like that was a quick thing that I'll mention again just to give a bit more context to this whole situation. In that same article, Swen talked about how they've been able to increase their efficiency just in their engine itself. So that way, when they record motion capture, it's basically in the game, the engine, as soon as they're done recording. So it's like this was something that would take us a day before to do, and now it's in the game instantly. And like it sounded just from reading through the entire interviews, the two interviews that I read, the one with Bloomberg and the one with the other publication, that in the second article at least, very much it sounded like the sort of overall goal was to be able to get any sort of piece of work that you were working on, art, voice lines, motion capture, anything like that, into the game engine or whatever in under or within 2 hours. Like that was the whole sort of like almost the efficiency goal was like
Yeah.
within 2 hours. And it's like, okay, so I get that. And it sounds like that's really like not where they're at this point. Cause I don't think at that point you need to really use a tool. You've probably already got enough or like an
Yeah.
AI tool at that point. You've already got your own idea set in stone that it's really just about designing the pieces on it and all that sort of stuff and getting it into the engine and then going from there again. So it's like, but then again, I'm saying all of this from having no idea how any of it works. So, like, I have no idea, and a lot of other people that are complaining don't either. Like,
I don't think
just a lot of people in general. None of us know how this works for them, their
I
process.
I don't think unless you're in the industry itself with a team at a studio, you have any idea what is actually happening behind the scenes. And you're just a couple assholes like Brody, Evan, and myself on a show or
Exactly.
amongst each other,
Speak for your fucking
eh,
self. Just kidding.
talking with your friends, going, well, AI good, AI bad.
Exactly.
At the end of the
Yeah.
day, AI cannot replace a human to create the art that you love.
100%
And
correct.
if it gets there, then we vote with our wallets. It shouldn't get there though, and I understand the anger, frustration, and outrage
Yeah.
because my knee-jerk reaction each time I see it is the same, where I go, "What the fuck do you mean?" And then I have to research, and once I research, I go, I can delineate at that point, good or bad, right? Larry and I was instantly able to see that, and I went, "This is literally nothing. This is
Yeah.
no human was even remotely replaced, touched, or even seen here." At the end
Compare
of the
that,
day
by
as
the way,
well,
to the Coca-Cola ad, by the way, that just came out for Christmas. That was
same with
entirely made by like
McDonald's.
a group of
Yeah,
AI engineers, and they're like, "We worked hours on this," and it's like,
fuck
"What do
you.
you mean you worked
You
hours on it?"
you would have been better to
Like,
hire artists and actually create a good trailer
right,
or a good
exactly.
commercial, right?
Come
Like,
on, what are we
At
doing?
at
Like,
the end of
let's,
it all,
yeah,
art has a heartbeat, and that heartbeat is
yeah,
the human element. You take the human element away, it's nothing. Gaming is an art medium, it's an art form. From the concept artists to the voice actors to the coders, the developers, the play testers, and the studio itself. AI could never replace that, and it will not. The problem is, again, it's the line in the sand, and where do the studios stand with that? And it's not just the studios, it's the executives. Because if you put the word AI on things right now, it is a buzzword. If you put the word slop on things right now, it's a buzzword. So they know how to fucking market something using something that's going to piss people off or get a lot of investors really excited. Larian doesn't deserve this hate right they're getting right now, but there should be shit thrown at Activision. There should definitely be shit thrown at Ubisoft
Well,
and all
and
these
that's my
other
point.
studios.
Where was that for them? Like Larian has been very pro dev, pro consumer, pro
And if you're mad
community,
at Larian,
pro.
give shit to the game of the year this year.
Well,
Well,
and I have something on that actually.
yeah. What was
I
what?
was
Yeah.
looking into that after you had said it. So apparently they didn't use any AI in the actual creation of the game. Some
Okay.
of their posters had AI, which they used a external contractor and didn't realize it. So they
Okay.
essentially used like a UE5 texture pack that was supposed to later be replaced, and it didn't happen.
What a lazy
So
fuck that guy is.
yeah, right.
Yeah. Right.
Something just got
What a
missed,
schmuck.
right? So it doesn't sound like they
Sure.
actually used AI in the actual creation of their game. It was mainly like some weird art things where it's like, oh, we use this as a placeholder and it made it through in this one specific spot, or they had a contractor that gave them like an AI poster.
Okay, so the French
from what
lived
I'm
to be
reading.
hated less a little bit today. That's fine.
Just
No,
today. Tomorrow
still-
is a different day.
No, I mean we can still keep that going. Just there's no AI hatred.
But
To be
at
fair,
them.
that is my game of the year, and I stand by that. Fuck you guys.
I mean, I my prediction was that one as well. My pick obviously was
That
KCD.
is,
We don't have to talk about that because apparently that was also. I really want to touch on that fast here. KCD 2 also got a bunch of hate over this
Yes, they
weekend
did.
after the Game Awards because they had a funny reaction to not winning anything, and people were like, "Oh, you're so ungrateful," and or like, how dare you shit on another studio winning or something like that, and it was just like it was just funny. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
really meant. I don't think it was meant to be taken in jest. There apparently was an actual higher up at the Warhorse Studios developer that made KCD2 that said something like, "We've been robbed" at the Game Awards or something like that. Which, if he was serious, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, it's people didn't vote for your game. Like, I picked your game. That's what I can say. But also it also felt very hilarious in KCD2 fashion, where it was just like that's how like an old timey person talks. That's not real. Like
I assume it was in jest,
I
right?
hope so, because I think the full quote was like, "I think it's fair to say we've been robbed," and I was like, "Okay, that's you can't be
Yeah, it's
serious."
definitely like Monty Python-esque right there.
Yeah, like I hope so, but
No, I mean,
no, that's the thing. I don't care if they use Gen AI for a mood board or like helping with a mood board. Like that's what I mean. Again, not replacing someone, but like that's sort of where I got the gist. And it's like, okay, then who cares? Like I'm not even gonna know. Like that's the thing. I think a lot of people are playing games or interested in games that are being made or created in some part with Gen AI that's not replacing a human, and they have no idea just because it's simply not talked about. That's all. And why would anybody talk about it now? There's no reason to. There's no incentive. It's actually it's actually, if anything, it's more of an incentive to lie. It's more of an incentive to go, none of this is made with AI, and you know that nobody's gonna be able to figure that out, you know. So they're just gonna get a bunch of goodwill by saying it's not made with AI, and then 2 years, 3 years after the game comes out, some developer's gonna leave and go, yeah, like
oh yeah,
bullshit.
it's going to be a lot
And then
of
it's going to be a whole
controversy.
thing. Rockstar is going to get a bunch of hate because that's going to be made with
They
AI
already
when
kind of
GTA
deserve
6
it right
comes
now,
out.
anyways.
Guarantee that there's AI
They're
usage
totally
in GTA.
they're gonna
6.
get they're
For
gonna
sure.
get so much hate, and then the game is gonna make $70 billion
Yeah,
in like
it's gonna
a
be the
month.
highest selling game of
Like,
forever
yeah.
and make so much fucking
It's
money.
gonna surpass Minecraft. It's gonna surpass Minecraft in a week. It's gonna be some crazy shit like that. Like Dispatch, where Dispatch is like we've surpassed like our 5-year sales goals in like 2 weeks or some shit
Yeah.
like that. It's gonna be something crazy on a GT like that level of scale.
Yeah.
But
Even Minecraft uses progressive generation, right? Like it just being you load into a new world. Guess what? That world has been generated. Like
yeah, it's like
fuck.
it's not artificial intelligence, but yeah, you're right. Like it's
Yeah.
procedural generation of some type, which is again what goes back to the whole argument, which is if what Larian is doing is bad, then so is Minecraft, so is Risk of Rain, so is Deep Rock Galactic. All the Deep Rock Galactic caves are procedurally generated.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. How about you don't use Excel to fill in your formulas across your entire spreadsheet?
Do it on pen and paper. Have fun.
Yeah. Do it on pen and paper, you lazy fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't use technology. We're going back old school, baby.
Don't type in Word,
Like,
write it down.
yeah.
Use a pen and paper.
I think, I think we're all in agreement, right? Don't take people's jobs. That's not the use
Yes,
case for this.
that's
Use it as a tool.
100% the
Use
point.
it to help do the mundane fucking looking through hours and hours and hours and days upon days of fucking Google searches. And from there, create your own fucking game. If that is the route you go, I don't think any of us are going to have any problem with it. If you utilize a little bit of AI for something odd, right? Okay, but as long as your art, your music, and everything else stays being created by people, I don't think there's any harm in it.
100%.
The revolution is now kill the machines, kill the robots. The AI must die. Cortana, you're going down.
No, you gotta die now. Like this
I-
is like Rocco's do you know what Rocco's basilisk is?
Yeah, we're fucked.
No, because of you, moron.
I didn't kill
Oh,
Harambe.
I, for one, welcome my
That's-
Terminator death. Thank
That's
you.
got nothing to do.
Down
sorry,
with the
listeners.
robots.
If any of you agree with what he said, this is also it all ends well or badly for us. We're all cooked. Thanks, Nick.
Dune started off with an AI war. Warhammer
And now
had
Nick's
an
the
AI
one
war.
kicking it off for us.
Hey, you know what? If anyone was gonna piss the machines off, it would be
What
me.
ended your civilization?
You don't even
A
wanna
guy
know
with
what
a
I said, Jack.
podcast in his basement.
You don't even want to know what my incognito looks like, dude.
No, certainly not.
That AI is
I'm good.
screaming. I don't want to be sentient.
Ah!
You don't know what he gets off to. It's awful. It's awful. Oh,
Jesus.
it's very good. Again, I'll leave it at this. Art is always going to be a human-made thing. It can be created by machines, and it can be created by 14-year-olds in their basement trying to be artists, but it'll never replace those actually trying to create something for themselves and for the world. You have your Vincent Van Goghs, and then you have Tyler from Ohio making fucking big anime titty on Rogue. Something like that.
Hell yeah, Tyler, get it, dog.
Of course. Of course. But what I'm saying is I love my games to be made with the hands of humans and not have an overreach. But again, with what Larian is doing here is not an overreach. This is a very, 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 very pre-step to the game. It is literally not even the foundational work. This is a grain of sand in the grand scheme of it. Keep that in mind when you hear the word AI. Stop buzzing around the house like a wasp, dude. We don't understand. But I understand the rage. I understand the anger here. And we should keep that anger and get ready to spearhead it towards the people who deserve it. Because pretty soon here in 2026, it's going to get fucked up.
Yeah, fuck you, Activision and Ubisoft.
So
I know you using
yeah.
that shit.
Oh
in the year
it's gonna be crazy.
where GTA 6 is coming
EA.
out, Wolverine is coming out, possibly Half-Life 3. We are going to have PUBG, the AI, the movie video game. Right? That is what I see. I see the PUBG, the AI, the movie, mobile video game movie. That's going to be
at
a
the
thing,
end
I
of the
guarantee.
day,
And it's gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah.
at the end of the day, so here's the thing: if EA starts using AI in a bunch of their games like FIFA and Madden to like significantly
are.
reduce the staff,
I was gonna say, have you seen what Madden and FIFA look like these
Look
days?
at the crowds.
No,
Yeah, look
I
at the
don't. I
crowds.
have my head in the
Bad.
sand. Okay, I'll have to look. I'll have to download the newest one or something like that.
I
But
wouldn't.
like,
Yeah, don't play their
I
games.
won't.
No.
Just Google it.
I'll Google
Just
it. Yeah,
chat
I'll look up.
GPT it.
I'll look, yeah, I'll GPT.
It's AIception.
Like at this point, can I just like argue to EA now and be like, okay, so if you're making all this money and like you're cutting all the staff, and like, can't you at least make a Dead Space 2 remake? Like,
You're
come
gonna
on.
have to write a letter to Saudi Arabia now. Actually,
That's not gonna.
They're having
Good
their own.
luck.
They're having their own video game festival.
Oh, really?
Lovely.
I don't even know anything about that.
It's like their own E3. Yeah, they're doing that.
Oh, interesting.
Jeff
Curious
Keighley has competition.
Swear to God,
why did
Half-Life 3 is
Half-Life
announced
3
there. I'm
gets
gonna freak the
announced
fuck
there.
out. Ow.
I had the same thought as he did.
If that happens, it's going to be a moral compass battle
That's gonna
within
be a
me, and
bloodbath,
I already
dude.
know
Nick's
what's
gonna
going to
be furious.
prevail. I'm going to give Saudi Arabia
Buy
a
it
lot of money. to
3
play the
times.
game. Yeah.
He's gonna buy
Yeah.
that collector's
Here,
edition like
I'll-
3 times, dude.
I almost made a very bad joke, and I'm so glad I didn't.
Okay, edit that part out.
Nope. It's your job to guess what the joke was. I'll put a poll down below.
That's your job. That's a terrible idea.
Don't like it.
Don't
Shouldn't-
like that at all.
Hey,
Yeah,
Chat
so-
GPT,
No,
what was
yes,
Nick gonna
games-
say there at the end of that episode?
I hate AI.
Yeah.
I hate
Ga-
it.
it should games and other forms of media and any finished product, anything like that, anything in the middle, anything past the preconception or like that sort of phase, like that, like the pre-production phase, all of it should be made by humans. Like 100%. I think that's officially our stance here, as well as it should never replace anybody's job. It should only enhance the tools of the humans that use them, that work those jobs. It should never, in any shape or form, just replace outright someone.
We should
Yeah.
make
At all.
AI just watch every atrocity.
Do you think
They
we could
already do.
feed?
Oh yeah.
Do you think we could feed AI a bunch of WASD and Beyond episodes and have it spit out a WASD episode?
That's like the whole, like,
You trying to take my not job?
Yeah, right.
this is not a new thing, unfortunately, because there are other podcast hosts that have talked about AI music on their podcast, or
Which that's
like have
awful.
had. There's
That's
been
terrible.
there's been a particular prominent
AI video games.
political radio host who had AI conversation with George Washington that he created.
Oh.
Yeah,
So, you
George
know, I
Washington was
think
like buff and shit too. It was really
Yeah,
really
he was
weird.
wearing one of those what's those shirts they have on Instagram reels that all the true classic or whatever they're
yeah,
called, whatever
yeah, the best fit shirts
Like
or
a-
whatever. Yeah,
Oh,
the ones that like
the
stretch
untucked
right.
shirts and all that shit. Yeah,
Yeah, they hide your beer gut or whatever. I don't remember. I think it's true classic or something like that.
I've worked hard for this beer gut. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm working
And-
hard to get mine off.
Yeah, George Washington was all buff and stuff, and he's like, "Here's what I think." Unfortunate part of that, by the way, I did watch that. No wooden teeth. Pretty poor performance there. AI
Yeah,
didn't
fucking
capture
come
it
on.
quite well.
and,
People don't-
and a seventh
don't
finger.
get it.
Weird. Anyways,
I wouldn't worry
Probably
about that.
4 balls.
That, that seventh finger has a purpose. Thank you.
3 in the pink, 2 in the stink. Nice.
That's
That's still only 5.
Yeah, but
You're
no,
missing
I
2
wasn't done. And then you could 2 on the bean. You're just everywhere. You're just everywhere with those fingers.
That's a lot of fingers. That's a whole fucking mess right there.
It's a horrifying image.
If
Nobody's
we,
got the coordination for that shit.
If we had
Hey,
7
Midjourney?
fingers, if we had 7 fingers,
Journey,
as
I
men,
got an idea.
I guess women could never say they never came. Then
Stop.
7 fingers all at once.
Get
That's
some
crazy
help.
business.
Stop it.
Anyways, that was written by AI. I wrote that joke with AI. Thank you all. I did not. That's AI could never replace
Unfortunately, that's a Nick original. If
That's
I've
the
ever heard
original-
one.
Yeah, that AI couldn't create that if it
this mine.
tried.
AI and Sony are in cahoots to make their controllers with baby foreskin still. I'm convinced. of
No,
that.
dude.
We are
no.
back to
God
that.
damn it.
We're back to
No.
that, baby. AI
No.
can never replace me. Thank you all for listening to this week's WASD and Beyond. Please let us know what you think of all of this. Email us at wasdbeyond@gmail.com. Again, that is wasdbeyond@gmail.com. And hey, while you're at it, please check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Go give us a like, subscribe, comment, tell us how much you hate us now for talking about AI. That's great. That's cool. Very good. And while you're at that, go listen to the D&D podcast Brody's got going on. Roll for Deception. Evan and myself are a part of that. Also,
Yes.
go
Yes.
check out It Came from SCREAMBOX. That's me, Noah, and Alex discussing a horror movie from SCREAMBOX. Very fun. And And that's the show.
It should be noted that it came from SCREAMBOX. It's still on the WASD and Beyond feed.
I couldn't be fucked.
Yes.
Roll for Deception is on its own feed.
And
Separate.
that link
Yes.
is down below. Check out the sponsors too, Final Boss and Doc Longy. And with that, everybody, we bid you farewell. Thank you for listening. Is that how AI talks?
Chat GPT said this is a good podcast and you should continue listening and tell your friends.
This is a great franchise.
This podcast was made by humans.
All of this podcast is made by humans, unfortunately. Take it easy, folks.
Unfortunately.